Good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing great this morning. So just a quick review. We started off drawing the Doric column, and then we drew the Ionic column. And now today we're going to be drawing the Corinthian column. So there's the Corinthian column. And as you can see, it is quite a bit more complicated, quite a bit more fancy than the last columns we looked at. But you guys will totally be able to do this because you guys are such good listeners and you're such good drawers. Well, let's go ahead and get started. So I hope you all have a pencil and paper. I'm going to use the black marker so you can see what I'm drawing again. All right, so up at the top, you're going to start out with your pizza box shape, but don't go all the way out to the edge. Leave a little bit of space around the edge. And the edges of your pizza box are going to angle in just a little tiny bit. Now under that, you're going to do a spiral and start right there underneath. Go out, spiral around, go 2 times. So that's 1 time and 2 times. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So go out, spiral around, 1 time, 2 times around. Now you're going to loop back around and then spiral back out. And stop right there. And then same thing on the other side. So loop around, make a little circle, and then spiral around, working your way back out through your spiral, through your scroll, and then stop right at that top edge. Okay, now you're going to make a little mark right in the middle, about halfway down the middle, just a little mark just for you so you know where the middle is. And now I'm going to work on these inner scrolls in the middle. So I'm going to want to make sure to leave enough room between this scroll and that scroll to have these little tails come down. So you're going to make this inner scroll a little bit smaller than that one. And we're only going to go around 1.5 times. And we're actually going to start here in the middle. So start a little ways down, maybe about halfway through your scroll. You're going to go around 1 time and 2 times, like that. And then same thing on this side. And so these inner scrolls are going to be kind of a mirror reflection of the other scrolls. So they're facing the opposite direction. And then you're going to make a little circle and then trace back around right down the middle. And then stop right at that edge. And same thing for the other side. And then stop right there at that edge. All right, so now the next step, you are going to we'll leave that there for now and then come back and make those tails come down in a little bit. So right now then we're between these 2 little center scrolls, you're going to make an arch going across like that. And then you're going to bring those arches down, or connect those arches down, kind of make like a little hill shape right there. And now from your arch at the top, you're going to go in. You're kind of making a little rounded triangle shape there. But what you're doing, this is a kind of a leaf shape as part of that Corinthian column that's coming out towards you. And what it's kind of like if you have this piece of paper and it's curled over at the edge. So see how that comes out? It's curled over at the edge, so this front edge, that it kind of looks like a triangle. That is kind of what you're drawing right there. Except it's made out of stone, not paper. Now from here, from the bottom edges of your hill, you're going to go out and you're going to draw kind of a banana shape, and that's going to be another leaf here on the side. So start right there, go out, and you're going to go all the way up to the bottom of that scroll, and you're going to go in. Now we're going to draw in the back side of that leaf, so that's kind of going to go around like that. And this part inside is the underside of the leaf. And then same thing on the other side. So banana shape, go up all the way to the bottom of that scroll, around and down. And you're going to want these to you don't want it to go out, you don't want the bottom of your banana shape to go out past the top of your pizza box up there at the top. You want it to kind of stay in alignment. If you drew an imaginary line down, you would want these to kind of be lined up on the edge. All right, and draw that down and around. All right, next I'm going to draw another line right in the middle, just so I know where the middle is. Now, up from here, so give yourself a little bit of space, but not too much space. But up from here now I'm going to do some more sets of leaves. There are going to be some more sets of these banana shapes. So we did kind of one row of those leaves up there, and now we're going to do another row there. This one is going to have two on each side. So we're going to do 2 banana shapes. So up from the center, we're going to draw another banana shape. Down around, and then right next to it, just move my pencil over a little bit, and we're going to do one more banana shape just right next to it, like that. And then on both of these, we're going to come back down and around, and then that part is going to get shaded in later. And if you'll notice, I went over the top of some of the lines I already made. So what you can do, you can take your pencil and go back in and erase those lines. So these 2 banana shapes that we just drew, they're going to be in the front, and so you would erase all the lines that are inside these front banana shapes. Now you're going to make your next banana shapes on the other side. So going up and over. If you drew an imaginary line across, you would want all these banana shapes to be in alignment like that, going straight across. So another banana shape, and then loop back down around. And one more, so move your pencil over just a smidge, and one more banana shape right there, and then loop back down around. And then go back and erase those lines in there. I can't erase the black pen, but these are the lines I would erase. Right there, those lines in there, erase that, erase that, erase that right there. All right, right underneath these last banana shapes, you're going to make a big arch right across there. And now you're going to do your hot dog shape. underneath that. So curve your ends around from your arch and then connect the bottom with another arch. Now I'm going to draw my lines this is the column part now, so I'm going to draw the lines down for the sides of the column and going out just slightly, just a little tiny bit out, not perfectly straight down, just a little tiny bit out, and that way we know we're looking up at it because it gives it a little bit of perspective. One trick to drawing straight lines is to not move your wrist, don't wiggle your wrist around, but just move your whole hand down. So I'm going to try drawing a straight line just a little bit out by moving my whole arm. All right, the next step, this is going to seem familiar to you now. You're going to make little arches across the top. You're making your flutes now. You've done this before several times, so I think you're pretty good at this now. So little arches across the top, and then you're going to draw sides down on all of them to draw in your flutes. And so that's your basic Corinthian column. Oh, now we're going to go back up here. I said we're going to go back up and draw in the tails for those. So this scroll on the right, we're going to have these kind of go down at an angle and then meet that first leaf right there. So just draw a line down, and then this other scroll is going to fit right in there, right in between that other line. So just like that. So take that outside scroll, draw a line down, draw the two lines down to connect it there, and then the inside scroll, you're going to just go ahead and connect those lines down also. And then that completes the top part of that scroll. So, good job everyone so far. Now let's talk about the shading just a little bit. I'm going to move to my pencil now, and I want you to be able to see this. So again, we're going to don't draw in the sunshine here, but I'm just going to draw in the sun. So you remember that the sun, the light is coming from this upper corner here. And so the light is going to hit here, the light's going to hit all the parts that are tall and that are standing out, and all the parts that are carved back down into the stone are going to be darker and shaded in. So I'm going to darken in this area here. It's going to be very dark and very shaded in. And I want you guys to go ahead and take your time with the shading to get it nice and neat. I'm going to go a little quickly here because I'm going to try to show you the whole shading for the whole drawing. But you can go ahead and take your time working on this and continue working on this throughout the week. And also remember, you can turn your pencil on the side and put your finger on top of it if that helps you, and you can do your shading that way. Sometimes that gives you more control over your pencil. So all of these areas are very dark. They go back into the stone. Now I'm going to shade in if there's a gap in between your two tails that go down, you can go ahead and fill those in. If they run right up next to each other, that's fine also. Then you don't have to worry about shading them in. So now this area is all going to be very dark. It's going to get shaded in. But I'm going to stop right there because this leaf, or this banana shape, is coming forward, and we're going to shade this area behind it. So that's all going to get shaded in, and then the same thing on this side. This other scroll is going to get shaded in. This area back here is going to be very dark. And all of that's going to get shaded in. And like I said, I'm going quickly here, but you guys go ahead and take your time and do a really nice, neat job on it. And continue to work on it through the week. Okay, so all of this is going to get shaded in. And then down here, this is going to get shaded in. And then the inside of this scroll is also going to get shaded in. All right, you see how it's starting to look three-dimensional now when we're doing this shading? Right, one other detail, since our light is coming from here, it's going to be the very darkest on this side. So if you want, you can make it extra dark on these sides that the sun is hitting the least. So right there, it could be very dark, right there, very dark, and right here also very dark. So extra shading on those areas. And then same thing for the rest of these scrolls. So imagine the sun's coming from that way. So this area here is going to be the very darkest. And here, here, and here. Extra dark there. Extra shading there. So those areas there would be extra dark. And actually over here also. Now let's do a little bit of shading in the rest of this. So underneath this leaf is going to be a nice dark shadow. And so you're going to start pretty dark up close to that leaf. And then you're going to blend it out till there's nothing. So you're going to get lighter as you work your pencil mark out. So I'm going to shade it till there's nothing out there. So dark to light. That's your shadow under your leaf. Now these leaves that are in the front are casting a shadow back onto that big center leaf. So we're going to do a little bit of a shadow right there. So I'm going to, again, do dark to light. So it's going to be very dark at the edge, and it's going to work its way out to very light, to almost nothing. So going light to dark, dark to light. I'm going to hold that in close so you can see it. So dark in close, and then it goes out to light, to nothing. Now on these banana leaf shapes, you're going to darken in the area underneath each leaf. It's going to be the very darkest under there. Very darkest under each leaf. And so remember, I erased those lines, those little ones that I scribbled out. So very darkest right here. and very darkest right here. And over on this side, very darkest under here. Very darkest here. And very darkest here. And then right where they overlap, there's going to be a little shadow that the ones in the front cast onto the back. So I'm going to put a extra shadow here, and it's going to go again from dark closest, and it's going to work its way out to light, dark to light, to nothing. And on this side, it's going to be dark, nice dark shadow, and it's going to go out to nothing. And then here where these meet along the base, we're going to put a little shadow also. So it's going to be darkest close in, and it's going to work its way out to light, to nothing. So very dark to light to nothing. And now the rest is going to be familiar. It's going to be kind of the same as last time. So on the bottom edge of your hot dog shape, it's going to be shaded in because it's getting less light because the light's hitting up here at the top. So the bottom is going to get a nice shadow going across the bottom. And dark to light. And now these flutes. Remember, these flutes sink back in space, just kind of like the toilet paper tube. You can see where the light is hitting, and then the shadow is over on the other side. I see the shadow right over there on that side because it sinks back into space. So you can see where it gets the lights and the darks. So I'm going to turn this to do it because it makes it easier. So I'm going to draw in this side is going to be dark because the sun is going that way, and so the sun is going to be hitting that side. So going from dark and kind of curve around the top of that arch. And so starting really dark shadow and then moving out to lighter. But that dark shading is going to be right in there. And there is your Corinthian arch, or your Corinthian column. All right, so you guys have a great day. Bye-bye. Good job.